Hello knitters, Barbara Benson here. I'm an independent knitwear designer who also likes to make videos here on my YouTube channel, Watch Barbara Knit. If you'd like to know more about my knitwear designs, please check in the description below, and there you will find a link to my Ravelry designer page where you will find pictures of all the patterns I have available for you to purchase a PDF and knit up for yourself. Also in the description below, you will find a link to the Watch Barbara Knits Facebook group. I would love to have you come over and join. It's a closed group, but you just click request and I'll approve you. And it's a place for us to continue the conversations that we start here with the bonus of being able to add and show pictures, which, you know, knitting is a very visual kind of thing. Today I have a quick video for you, which is a pattern tour of my brand new pattern that just came out, and it is a pair of fingerless mitts. Here they are. What do y'all think? I hope you like them. I am so excited about these because you can't really tell. They are so very, very, very soft. I don't know if you can see the fuzz action on these. They're so soft. They're crazy soft because these are made out of a new yarn. They're so soft from one of my favorite yarn companies, Anzula. This is their new yarn. It's called Serenity, and it is 100% cashmere. They're so soft. I did two colors. We have Saffron and Blanche. Saffron is the yellow. Blanche is the bluey tealy color, which you might recognize from the video I made of unwinding yarn. This was what I was working on, so I didn't say anything about what kind of yarn it was because it's a surprise. This is a brand new yarn, and I have, so here are my leftovers. Isn't that amazing? So what I have here is called Spigato. Y'all seem to like when I tell you the story of where the names come from. And specifically, so this is a herringbone pattern. Very commonly found in like parquet floors, and you see it a lot, herringbone twill. It's a very common fabric pattern. And if you type herringbone into the Ravelry database search, you get 14 pages of hits. That's a lot of patterns to wade through. So I decided maybe using herringbone wasn't the world's greatest idea. Because the name of the yarn is Serenity, I contemplated using a firefly reference, but I couldn't come up with anything that really fit. And then I started using online translating services to try to find another herringbone in a different language that sounded pretty. And obviously the Italians, who do beautiful, beautiful fabrics, and if you do a Google image search for Spigato, you get all these beautiful herringbone tweeds. They have a pretty word for herringbone. So it just means herringbone. Now, these are the size mediums as the sample I did, and as I showed you, this is how much yarn I had left over. Because it's a luxury yarn, it comes in 50-gram skeins, because 100-gram skeins would be super duper expensive, and people usually can indulge in luxury a little bit better if it's in these smaller skeins. So I used only about half of each color to make these mitts. So as long as you're doing the small or the medium, you could probably get 2 pairs out or come up with another project for this, or just, you know, put googly eyes on it and sit it by your bed and pet it every night because it is so soft. I would love it and pet it and name it George. Or maybe, I don't know, it has a name, Blanche. And so if you're going to go with the large, the pattern comes in 4 sizes: small, medium, large, and extra large. If you're getting into the larger sizes, you might not quite have enough yarn to make 2 pairs, but you might. It depends on your knitting and your gauge. The other thing you could do if you wanted to use up more of the yarn is repeat. There's like this is 3 repeats of a chart. You can repeat more here and make these longer so they go further up your arm. I wanted to make these little sweet, sweet little mitts. Now, these are mediums. For myself, they do fit, but for me, if I was knitting them for me, I probably would do the large because I think that the colorwork pattern looks better if it's at like neutral or positive Eve, that it's not quite as tight, but that's up to you. But you can see they only come to here. And so if you wanted to do more repeats here, you definitely have enough yarn to make it more of what's considered a gauntlet length. So you have that. I also wanted to put this on so you can see, maybe, because I don't know, here we go. It does have a fun thumb detail. It's got these little diamonds up the thumb, which I thought were fun without being too complicated. Trying to integrate this pattern into here got really complicated, and I wanted to keep these fairly straightforward and easy to knit. So sometimes I make choices in my design with y'all in mind if you're going to want to do something quite that complicated. So the big thing about these mitts, this is slip stitch knitting. These are not stranded. I considered doing stranded. I even looked through some stuff and I decided that I just like slip stitches so much. Now, the difference between slip stitch and stranded is that when you're doing stranded knitting, you do 2 or 3 or more strands of yarn and you're carrying all the colors on every round. So what you do is you get a lot of strands on the inside, which is great because, especially for mitts and things, and if you look at a lot of the traditional colorwork stranded mitts, it's to give more warmth. But these are cashmere. They're already warm and they're super soft. And honestly, I wanted to see every single stitch. I didn't want any of those floats running behind because it's cashmere. And also, I'm lazy. But I wanted it to look like stranded. So because it's worked in the round, I was able to get this stranded look by modifying the mosaic knitting technique, and instead of working 2 round stripes, I only worked 1 round stripes. So you're changing color, and you can really see that in the thumb. Here, maybe if I take it off. You can really see that in the thumb. See there? You're seeing that you're changing every single round, as opposed to at the beginning, you have, this is 2 rounds and two rounds of the gold and 2 rounds of the blue. 2 rounds of the gold, 2 rounds of blue, but then all the rest of it, you're only doing 1 round of each color. And because of that, I was able to make it more intricate, and it really looks like stranded knitting without all the hassle of stranded knitting. Now, I say hassle. Stranded knitting is a wonderful technique. A lot of people really love doing it, and it isn't as scary as most people think it is, but I just love slip stitches. So I decided to use that technique. And these knit up, because there's another reason I wanted them short is because they knit up fairly fast. I just think I can't quit petting them. I'm like, oh, they're so soft. So these are the Spigato mitts. I do want to mention this pattern. Now, when I do patterns, I do my very best, if it's at all possible, to have the pattern completely written out and with charts, because I know there are people out there who don't like charts. But when you get into color work, it's very, very challenging to write out because it's just, it gets very intricate. So this particular pattern, the color work is only available in chart form. It's not a hard pattern, but it's just, there's multiple small charts to get this effect. And it just, it was too much. As it is, it's a 4-page pattern. If I had written it all out, it probably would have doubled. And that's just a lot to wade through. So if you are thinking about getting this pattern, I just want to make that clear that if you don't do charts, this might not be the pattern for you. But I highly encourage you to try charts, especially colorwork charts. They're just, it's kind of just an on-off kind of thing. There's not a lot of complexity in it. And because it's knit in the round, it's just, you know, knit one, slip one, knit one, slip two, knit two. That's all it is, because it's just knit and slip. You're not carrying anything along. So these are the Spigato mitts. They are now available on Ravelry. I will put a link in the description below to the pattern, and I hope that y'all like them. And you just, here, let me get it off. They're so soft. I gotta be super gentle with them because I don't want to mess them up. So these are the Spigato mitts. They are so very soft, and as I said, you have enough to do lots of fun stuff. You've got to check out this yarn. Is crazy soft. So I hope you like this video. If you do, give it the thumbs up, click that like button, and if you would like to be notified whenever I upload a new video, please subscribe to my channel and select notifications. Thank you so much.